Chris Price says, can you explain how iframes pass link equity? Do they pass the link profiles or the link profiles? Or in other words, do they mess with the ratios on the pages that are in the iframes? Well, in Majestic, which is the only backlink analysis that I use, Chris, to answer your question, yes, it shows as a backlink. An embed shows as a backlink. It just shows as an empty anchor. That's why I have in all of my, let me pause the screen for a minute. Okay, so this is my competitive link analysis report or sheet workbook, right, that I use for all projects, all campaigns. And that's why we have an empty slash frame anchor text type, because that is an empty slash frame anchor text is an iframe or an embed or a redirect or an image backlink without alternative text. If there's alternative text, the alt text is the anchor text from an image backlink, just in case you guys were unaware of that. But if it's a hot linked image that is hyperlinked, or an image that is hyperlinked to something, so that when you click the image, it goes to a page URL, if there's no alternative text, that's an empty anchor. That's the same thing as an iframe. So that's how Majestic classifies it. I don't know about anything else. I don't use any other link analysis tools, but Majestic. So, but how do they pass? It's almost like a bidirectional do follow link, from my understanding. I am not the patent nerd. My former partner, Marco Benavides, he still was and still is somebody that studies patents and deciphers them and all that kind of shit. God bless him. I never wanted or had any desire to do that. In fact, I used to just rely on him to do it. And then he would kind of put it in layman's terms for stupid old me, because I had no desire to learn all that, like read all those patents. And that's just no way. It gives me a fucking headache. No thanks. So anyways, but from what I understand from him, and I've done a ton of testing, and it appears to be correct, which again, if it comes from the patent, it seems to be, but it's almost like a bidirectional do follow link with an iframe. Both link equity can pass from the iframe out to the page that it's ranked or embedded on. There's some bleed, and then there's also bleed from the page that the iframe is embedded on into the iframe, if that makes sense. Now, I don't know how much, I don't know, but I know that they basically act like bidirectional do follow links. Okay.